Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Lagos Youth Show on Lagos Television. And as usual, we always have this special episode where we announce our Lagos Youth Trailblazer for the month. And this month, that is what makes today's episode a special one. And as usual, we also have a guest that will be joining us to talk on an interesting topic, specifically as it relates to understanding the role of local government in shaping youth participation and development. Trust me, it's going to be a fun-filled experience alongside with entertainment and education. And of course, my name is Tosin Ekuyeminu. I shocked you a bit, right? Ideally, yes, we're supposed to be two hosts, but yes, I'll be your solo host on today's episode, and I promise you it's going to be fun all through. All right? Stay with us, and right back, immediately we are coming back, our guest will be joining us to demystify the topic. Stay with us. It's still the Lagos Youth Show, and like I told you, our guest will be joining us. Interestingly, our guest is a young individual that has shown remarkable impact, particularly when it comes to youth development and politics at the grassroots. Interestingly, he is the APC councillorship candidate for IBA LCDA. Join me as we make welcome and celebrate no other person, Comrade Kuku Mutiu Olayinka. Good to have you.
Thank you so much.
Good to have you,
I'm so delighted to be here.
It's great.
Thank you so much, Tosin.
I mean, it's exciting to always see young people involved in governance, particularly at the grassroots level, and that is impressive.
Thank you so much for the accolades. Thank you.
That's great. That's great. So let's dive into the conversation. You know, understanding the role of local government in shaping youth participation and development. A lot of time when people talk about governance, we are quick to look at the states. We are quick to look at the national, at the federal level, but we really don't talk about grassroots, particularly for young people, because we are aiming for the top, right? But give me your background as to it. How has your grassroots experience shaped you into what you are doing today? And give us a background of how your journey has been so far.
Okay, thank you so much, Tosin. My name once more is Kuku Mutiu Olayinka. I hail from one of the local government in Lagos State here, IBA LCDA precisely, Ojo local government. And I'm a grassroots person, just like from the onset of my activities. I have served from my community as a secretary to the CDA.
Interesting.
And after that, I also served as the level of the youth, also in the community, before I was promoted to represent the youth at the level of the National Youth Council of Nigeria in IBA LCDA as the secretary of the local branch, NYCN. So afterwards, I actually gained admission into the prestigious Lagos State University, where I was opportune to serve as the speaker of the Students' Union, the 29th speaker of the Students' Union, Lagos State University. So afterwards, there's this dichotomy between the youth politicking and the mainstream politics. Finding it a bit complex from the youth's perspective of politics and the mainstream politics. I find it that there's this gap between the young people and our political leaders. From where I hear from, IBA LCDA, Agboko community precisely, we have this low, or let me say, the presence of governments is not really felt from my community. So I feel that this is not how to be. And we have year in, year out, people who are council chairman who are willing to do something. It means that we don't speak up. That is why we do not have the proper representation of the governance in our community, in the grassroots. So I took it upon myself that what am I going to contribute towards this part? So that's why I chose the path of also representing my people at this level. And I'm glad that our party, our great party, the ruling party of Progressive Congress, has given me the opportunity to also serve in that regard.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I like the fact that, I mean, from right from school, so it has been a journey for you, you know, and beautiful, beautiful. And interestingly, on your profile, there's this. I keep seeing the word seed, SEED. So maybe some of our young fellows will need to know, what does that mean? What does that nickname mean?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Tosin. It wasn't. It's not an acronym.
Okay.
It's actually the word seed. You know, the seed has been planted, and even the forest once had a seed of a tree to make it a forest. I believe that I am just coming up, and I'm just a little one now who is wanting to grow.
Yeah.
Who is wanting to grow. So, and I believe that in the capacity of me wanting to grow, I just need to bring up something to energize my spirit, something to give me that courage. And I believe in myself.
Okay.
And I believe that gradually I am making progress.
Definitely. So that means the word seed is representing something that would germinate.
Yeah,
and be
auspicious,
fruitful.
something being auspicious and fruitful, something.
Beautiful. Of course, and we are awaiting the seed becoming a tree soon, right?
Of course.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
So there was something you said that, you know, really got my attention, and I think it's important that you give some clarity to that. What do you think are some of the challenges, like you said, that, you know, like you mentioned, that there's this major gap between the local government and particularly young people, all right? Drug abuse now it's on a hike. Thuggery and cultism is on a hike now, particularly in our grassroots associations and what have you. So what do you think are the challenges responsible for the gap between the local governance at the local level, and the grassroots communities?
Oh, thank you so much, Tosin, once again. I want to retreat from what I just said earlier about my background. Agro community where I reside, where I was born and brought up, has to be the host community for the prestigious Lagos State University. So we're talking about all of these vices. It's not something that is not known to me very well. And when I was a speaker of the student union as well, I also led a campaign against drug abuse on campus. You know, all of this we are saying has to do with the value of an individual.
Okay.
I also grew up in this community where we have a lot of cases of cultism, where we have a lot of guys doing drugs. And so what actually differentiates my person from all of these individuals as well, it has to do with our value. So, you know, when youth of now, when my generation would come up to clamor that our generation has been bastardized, the older generation has failed us, I looked at it that the level we have now, it's just not okay for us to sit and criticize. Fine, we all know that there's poverty, there's unemployment opportunity, all of these things. As young persons, we ought to look for ways at which we can also contribute our part, not staying back and complaining and criticize without bringing anything to the table.
True. That's beautiful, and I'm super excited. In fact, I'm happy to see young people representing us in governance, particularly at the grassroots level. It's a big deal. Congratulations to
Thank
you
you so
on
much.
that. But I'm also curious. I'm a young person like you, so I'm curious. But let me put it this way: what are some of the policies? Because I see that councillors at the grassroots level are one of the major drivers of policy making, particularly at the grassroots level. So just enlighten us a bit on some of the policies you are going to be driving if and when you become a councillor representing IBA LCDA.
Thank you so much. You know, there's something very important about a concept of policy making.
Okay.
It's not about individual.
Okay.
It's about the collective interests of the people you're representing.
Okay.
And if I, as an individual, I have lots that I feel it's ought to be in our community, and I said I want to bring up, I devise a means that I think is mostly important in shaping that perspective of policy making for my constituents by calling, there's something I am approaching to have the town hall meeting for my constituents. This is where we have a lot of memorandas where people will come out to say their immediate pains, so that from all of these we can garner to choose and to also fight soon most of all of these things that we want to put in place. There are numerous that I can say that I want to bring up, but the interest of my constituents matters. So I am waiting for the right time.
For the right time.
When they will bring up their own painstaking issues, then we'll take it up from there so they would see that as proper representation, not my own representation or agitation.
Interesting. I think that sounds very interesting. I like that perspective. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. But because I've seen, one of the key reasons why I asked that question is going through some of the things you've done. I see you've done a lot of things around youth development. I think with your work with the Youth Council, at the same time with the Ministry of Youth in Lagos State. So do you have any specific, or what are those specific projects that you're going to be doing if and when you become a councillor, particularly targeting young people? Because, I mean, you know the numbers, drug abuse, and some of the social vices that is being faced by young people today. Do you have any specific projects or initiative that you intend to address some of those issues?
Yeah, thank you so much. The most important that I see is, there's a saying that when you want to make a generation prosper, you give them the right and quality education. Now, at the level of the local government, we are so particular about the primary education. And that is where we have issues even in this generation. We have to hold ourselves responsible in catching them young, trying to reshape the modesty in our education, most especially from the primary school education. So I have this initiative of giving back to education. I'm an educationist, so I have a design already about giving back to them. First and foremost, our teachers. We need to have this engagement, constant engagements, not just the one you see us in the streets and they'll just say these are councillors without having any impact. So it's not just the duty of the local government chairman. So it has to do with we from the various wards we're representing. What is our relationship with these teachers? The council chairman is in the office. It cannot be everywhere. And that's the reason why we are having the councillors. So my giving back to education has different segments, which I think is best kept to when things start unveiling itself. And at the same time, we have a partnership project. Yeah, we have a lot of the, activities. Now, when it comes to software design, when it comes to coding, when it comes to UI, UX, in developed countries, it's not just made for adults. It's being practiced even from the primary level. So it means that if things like this can be done in other parts of the world, it can be brought, it can be bring back to our country. So bring it back to our country, somewhere has to be the starting point of it. So it's something that when it's been done somewhere, others can emulate. So it means that if LCDA, Wadi precisely, is coming out with something fantastic for the next 4 years, by God's grace, if elected to office.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, Mutiu. In concluding your thoughts, because I've been able to pick a lot from some of the issues you've been able to highlight from IBA LCDA. But let's leave the community. Let's talk about you. Why are you pushing for this? Why the energy? Why the enthusiasm? Why the focus in governance? Why trying to solve? Because there are many young people out there that would rather spend their time in entertainment, music, running a business. I mean, governance is not as profitable, as other sphere of life, even though some people would disagree with my perspective, but it shouldn't be as profitable, compared to people running a business. But you've decided to take this path. The big question is why? Why are you doing this?
Yeah, first and foremost, passion leads in acts at most times.
Okay.
And I believe, a philosophy that whatever we do here echoes in the life after.
Mm.
So it means that the impact you have while living speaks for you when you're no longer.
Mm.
Now, the only part you can leave a very good legacy is the impact you make and you put up to humanity. One of my passion was just what I mentioned earlier, that the presence of governance is not felt in my community.
Mm.
And now I can tell you frankly that I am opportune to be serving as the SSA on Student and Youth Matters.
Oh, wow.
So the current incumbent chairman
Chairman, oh, wow.
of IBA LCD, Honorable Sabina Jubil.
Beautiful.
And within the space of the few years in office, I can tell you a lot
Mm.
that community I used to say lacks the presence of governance has benefited.
Interesting.
So it means that when we have people that have the similar thoughts of improving the immediate community, it
society.
means that you are trying to improve the ways of life of a lot of young individuals, because what you do might not affect you individually, but the lasting improvement it might bring, or succor it might bring to individual life, she might not quantify.
Quantify.
Now, I can tell you that I have a lot of individuals who are beneficiaries of the free GCE form of the executive chairman.
Chairman, yeah.
Courtesy my own ways of contributing,
To the quarter.
bring it back to the quarter. So, lot of jam, lot of bursary award on that part. In fact, we're even in the talk with a lot of amenities, social basic amenities for the community, building or construction of our roads, building of some infrastructures within that same community that does not have the presence from the past.
Okay.
So it means that having that notion
Okay.
that you want a change to occur, it means that you cannot sit somewhere and feel that changes will just come,
Will just come.
without you giving yourself
own
as a
effort.
sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
Yeah, I mean that as a sacrifice.
Yeah, fantastic. So if I could get you right, first it was passion for you.
Yeah.
Then you realize that governance is not getting to the grassroots community of which you're a part of, and taking that bold step to be that powerful representation to representing your community is a
Yeah.
fantastic move.
Yes, that's-
Oh, beautiful, beautiful with you. I would also like to ask, wrapping up the conversation today, it's been a lot of open conversation, and I always say this, I'm excited to see young people like myself, take the bull by the horn to say, oh, I want to do this, I want to come into governance,
Just
I
the way
want
you're
to
doing
stand.
fantastic. Just the way you're doing fantastic with the mic.
Anyway, so what are your few words to them and how they can kickstart that journey?
Yeah, what I would just tell anybody, all my very dear colleagues out there, is that there is no amount of success you cannot achieve just based on the perspective, your value, what you're bringing to the table.
Yeah.
I can tell you for free, the world is looking for that you individual that want to bring that different thing, that changes. I mean auspicious changes now,
Yeah.
not just change that society wants to see. So it means that there's a lot inherent in us, but the ability to push ourselves out so that that thing can be discovered is what we lack.
No.
And I can tell you that if you make a step, it's a step closer to where you
So
want
you
to
want
be.
going to be.
So without making a step, it means
You
you are
won't get
shortchanging
there.
yourself.
Yeah, true. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kukumutiu. It's been an awesome experience. I've personally learned a lot from you, and I
Thank you
believe
so much,
a
Joseph.
large number of us, young, vibrant Lagosians, have also learned a lot from your experience. And I'm super excited about your journey, the journey you're about to
Thank you
kickstart.
so much.
And I'm rest assured that it's going to be a good one. It's
Thank
going
you
to
so
be
much.
Great to have you. Thank you so much for coming.
Pleasure having you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's it with our guest, Mr. Kukumutiu Olainka. Interesting insight. So stay with us. We'll be back after the short break. it's still the Lagos Youth Show, and trust me, we've learned a whole lot from the conversation. But another interesting thing is, on this episode, this is where we have to announce our Lagos Trailblazer Youth for the month of May. And of course, what is Trailblazer all about? Our Trailblazer Youth has to do with a specific young person that is a young person that is doing remarkably well in their field of endeavor, and we take the platform to celebrate and recognize them every month. And on this episode, trust me, we are going to be taking our time to dedicate our youth trailblazer for the month of May, which is no other person but the phenomenal
In the spirit of Children's Day, we fondly celebrate an outstanding young Nigerian. We share the spotlight on Oluwatobiloba Afolorunsho, our Lagos Trailblazer Youth of the Month, a proud SS2 student of Queen's College, Yaba. Oluwatobiloba is a rising star who continues to break new ground and inspire our generation. Our inspiring journey is rooted in courage, brilliance, and unyielding drive to excel. These are qualities she displays as a standout representative in numerous competitions. One of her most remarkable moments came in 2022 when, as a junior secondary school student, she represented her school in the Nigerian Youth Parliament Lagos Central Inter-Secondary School debate on drug abuse, placing fourth among many contenders. Her journey didn't end there. With unwavering perseverance, she returned to the competition in 2024 as a senior secondary school student, and this time she emerged champion alongside her teammate Naomi Chukwuma Oko, triumphing over 15 other public schools. Their victory was celebrated in grand style and were awarded prizes including laptops, educational materials, and scholarships to study coding and robotics at an event graced by the First Lady of Lagos State, Dr. Mrs. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, and former First Lady Dame Abimbola Fashola. The event recognized them as drug-free school champions and youth advocates against substance abuse among their peers. A science student with dreams of becoming a mechanical engineer, Oluwatobiloba is the definition of resilience. Our story reminds us all that failure is never final. What truly matters is the courage to rise again. Together with Naomi, who aspires to become a medical doctor and transformational leader, they have also distinguished themselves in prestigious contests like the School of Eloquent Speech Competition, Stark Reform Speech Competition, UBA National Essay Competition, and Sterling Bank National Essay Contest. These teenagers are not just students. They are pace setters, trailblazers, and inspirations to their peers across Lagos and beyond. As we celebrate Children's Day, we say a heartfelt congratulations to Oluwatobiloba Afolorunsho, our Lagos Trailblazer Youth of the Month.
Yes, it's still the Lagos Youth Show, and trust me, it has been an amazing journey all through, learning from our guests at the same time getting to meet our Lagos Trailblazer Youth for the month of May. Interestingly, I want to also use this opportunity to celebrate no other person but Mr. President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu on this adventurous experience as he is celebrating his second year anniversary in office, alongside with our acting governor, Governor Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, on also his second anniversary in office. It has been an amazing journey, yes, with some ups and downs, but we thank God and we celebrate God Almighty for giving us the opportunity to still be standing. Interestingly, the show has been an awesome one. I learned a lot from the guests with regards to every young person out there. When you have an opportunity to make change, impact the lives of the people in your grassroots, you take that bold. And let's reduce the criticizing. Everybody's criticizing, particularly on platforms like X, Facebook. Everybody's criticizing, but look out for the littlest ways you can contribute to changing the narrative. It might be joining a political party. It might be participating or supporting your local government initiatives. All of these are moves that we need to start making as young people are beginning to take the opportunity to change the game and change the narrative. Wrapping up the show for this episode, it's been an amazing journey. And of course, let's not make the conversation end here. We'll go ahead, follow us across our various social media platforms on Facebook and Instagram at the Lagos Youth Show. At the same time, you can also join the conversation, follow and engage with us at official Lagos Television. And that's it for the wrap on today's episode. And I'm sure you took a lot from the dialogue today. As usual, stay giddy, stay loud, keep the vibe. It's the Lagos Youth Show. See you on our next episode. Peace.
I go Lagos, I go